Alexander Wrights here with a new video. Today we will be going over the left-handed nib from Lamy, and we are also going to be going over some products that I picked up from JetPens.com. Folks, if you're looking for a place to find all of your fountain pen and paper needs, I found JetPens to be reasonably priced and with great shipping. I will put a link in the description to check them out. This is all from JetPens, as I mentioned, and it was shipped to me within 2 days, which is amazing. I was so thankful that they got here quickly, and I was able to use this to write an anniversary letter to my wife. So thank you, JetPens. And as always, stick to the end to just see what my thoughts are about the product, and if you would be so helpful as to like and subscribe and let me know that this is content that you like to see. I have noticed that my travelers content is what people watch most, so we'll be doing some more videos themed around travelers company notebooks, as well as their different pen products and planners. So we'll see what happens in the future, but as always, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, so these are the products that I picked up from JetPens. Most of this ran me just $10 per item, so I'm going to go over it really quickly before I get on to the left-handed nib. So this is Lamy Safari's own ink. This is their blue ink in a 50 milliliter bottle. This will run about $12.50 US, and it's one of my favorite that Lamy offers, just because when you buy a Safari pen, you're actually given a cartridge of this color included with the Safari. So I just picked up a bottle, and interestingly, it has this little paper, so I'm assuming that's to wipe up ink when you are filling the pen. And I did this in a previous video, but I have gotten in the habit of just refilling discarded ink cartridges with fountain pen ink rather than using the piston filler or the converter. So I have a converter in a different pen for my Safari, but I've been using just taking a syringe of this ink and then putting them into discarded cartridges. That way I'm able to reuse them that way, and I found quite a lot of success in that. So if you're ever wanting to know how you can save a little bit of money and reduce waste, getting a syringe and refilling ink cartridges is always a safe option. So the nice thing about Lamy pens is the nibs are actually interchangeable. So I'll set this aside. The nibs are interchangeable. So this is just a standard medium nib. I don't know if we'll see that. Or actually, this is the bold nib. So this is a standard bold nib. I purchased the Safari with this nib, and I have already swapped out the left-handed nib. So it's pretty simple. If you look at the back, they just pull on and off. So it makes swapping nibs pretty efficient. They do come in two colorways, a black, which you're seeing here, as well as the silver that we're seeing on the left-handed nib. They have a bunch of different kinds. Obviously, the fine, extra fine, bold stub 1.1 left-handed, and there's also a cursive nib, which I am kind of interested to try out. Let's see if we can get that focused. I don't think we're going to be able to. It wants to focus on my thumb so bad. Anyways, yeah, so this is the left-handed nib. There we go. Silver, like I said, super interchangeable. The ink that I have already in this is the blue Lamy that was syringed into a discarded ink cartridge. So it makes it pretty efficient. With a left-handed nib, however, one of the things I was concerned about, I tend to find that if I want to get a pen that flows really well through my writing, that I need to have a bigger nib size, so we're talking like a stub or a 1.1. Typically that won't reduce ink flow, and I found that that's to be the most helpful. I was concerned with the left-handed nib that it would lessen the flow of ink. Apparently, the way that they describe the left-handed nib is, well, according to their own description, it's more oblique. So the nib is designed to specifically be used at an angle that is common with left-handed writers. It is similar to a Lamy medium nib, but with slight variation, obviously, with that oblique tip. There are several ways left-handed writers tend to write. I am what is called a over the top, so I write this way, so top down. So a lot of times I have to turn the pen so it is completely straight with the paper. Obviously, that is not the intention of a fountain pen. The intention is to write with it this way and have the nib pointing forward to the paper. God has a sense of humor, and he knew I would like fountain pens, and thus I write left-handed. There is side writing, which I've kind of tried to venture into. It's a very unfamiliar territory, and there is also underwriting, which feels downright impossible. I would have to relearn, and at that point it may just make sense to teach myself to write with my right the correct way versus relearning how to do it from the under position. So that is the dilemma that most people with left-handed or with left hands are into. Obviously, there's the ink problem. I found that there's several inks out there that are very versatile, and you don't need to worry about smearing ink. You can get a blot paper. You can slow down a little bit. You can always find ways to manage not smearing ink. I am a fast writer, so I tend to have to slow myself down, so I do not scuff or smudge the ink. But I think as I've gotten more into fountain pens, I've kind of surrendered that my ink won't always look 100% perfect, and that is okay. I did forget to mention, you can purchase a Safari with a left-handed nib. I believe it will run you about $30 US, But you can also, like I said, just buy the nib separately. So if you are left-handed and you have a Safari, you can just purchase the left-handed nib separately. It will cost you $12.50, which isn't terrible, but it may be more cost effective to just purchase another pen, because doubling the price, you're almost to a full-size pen with everything that you would get versus just the nib. Sorry, this seems to be having such a pain focusing. Anyways, so this is a writing sample. I may switch to some other pens, but I'll make it pretty brief. I have found that print writing is fairly decent. And this paper, I should add, is Midori, which I have never written on. I've always written on Thames River. And this paper is fantastic for ink definition, gives you a nice blend of the different color. And I found that I'm actually very pleased with how good the quality is. So we will... Why can't I? Oh, sorry. Had a little bit of a brain fart. So this is just my print. It's nothing special. But that's how I found that it's pretty smooth. I don't have any catches. When I do cursive, it's a little different. So it performs still pretty decently, if I could spell. and similar result. So you're not getting any stops, but is this pen nib better for me? I wouldn't say it is. I would say it is just the same as a medium nib, as a bigger nib size. You're still getting a lot of the same problems being left-handed. You saw that there was a stop right here that you would see with any different nib. Obviously, if you write upside down, it's a little bit more fine, but it is a bit scratchier. Obviously, that's not the intended design for a pen, and you can see that that's pretty much the smudge, which isn't bad. I mean, obviously, I've just written this and we're pretty dry, but that's fresh. So, again, is the left-handed nib better than using a standard nib? I would say no. I would say it performs just as much. I do feel that when I am writing letters that it is a bit more rounded. I can certainly feel the roundedness on the edge. Obviously, there's the, if I'm pronouncing this right, tines, so that can get a little scratchy when it's designed to write right-handed. But as I use this pen as a left-hander, I do feel it is a bit smoother, and that could be the paper, but it also could be the nib and paper working in conjunction. So yes, so I probably will stick to using this and see what it will look like going forward. But I've read some mixed reviews on this nib. So for some people, it works fairly well. For others, it is just the same, but with a different packaging. So I don't know if this video was super helpful for the people who are on the fence about it. I would say just give it a go and see what happens. For $12, $13, you're not going to really regret it. And you'll have an extra nib just in case something happens. But yeah, left-handed nib. Is it worth it? Maybe. Should you try it? Maybe. Will I continue to use it? Probably. But it is the only left-handed nib that I've been able to find on the market. I could be wrong, but tends to see that Lamy is the one who's kind of worked to introduce multiple products for all types of writing, whether it be cursive, left hand, or just regular. I find that their products are the most versatile for what you're looking to do. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. If you have a left-handed nib and you like it or don't, let me know. Let me know actually if you are a left-handed fountain pen user. I'm always curious to know how many of us are out there. But as always, like and subscribe if you like the content. I've been so grateful to see the interaction through my channel the last year, and it's all because of your guys' kindness that I have the want and the drive to continue to do this. So I just want to say thank you. God's been good to me, and so have you. So again, if there are things that you'd like me to go more in depth about, just let me know. But if not, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.